I will remember the cables. I will do my prep. I will edit the artwork.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm cringing already at that. I'll probably never listen back to that.
I'll have to listen to it multiple times. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Before and After the Movies, episode 33.
Couldn't tell you. I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, there's just so many.
Yeah.
We're doing Robert Eggers' The Northman.
We are indeed.
So we're going back to our Eggers roots.
Where it all started.
Where it all began for us, The Lighthouse. Quickly here, starring Alexander Skarsgård.
Nicole Kidman.
Ethan Hawke.
Thor or something. Bor.
Oh, yeah, Bjorn. Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yep.
And...
Willem Dafoe, of course.
Nice.
Wouldn't be an Eggers banger without Dafoe.
Exactly. Before we dive into this, do you want to do sideys?
Yeah.
Let's get the sideys out of the way. Okay, let's go one for one here.
It's been a while, so I think
there
might be a couple I'm missing, but yeah, hit me first, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so I watched King Richard.
Yeah, I've got that on here as well.
It was like pretty cookie cutter.
Did you see it before or after Slapgate?
I saw it before.
Okay, thank God.
I fucking loved it. Yeah. It was like
it's okay to have liked it, you know.
Yeah, no, it kind of reminded me of the Green Book. It's kind of like it doesn't really challenge me. It's like feel good.
Yeah, it's just like you just know you're getting like every scene. It's a competently shot, very well acted film.
And bonus points for tennis. I'm a big tennis fan.
Yeah, you love your tennis.
And it was kind of weird when he went up and slapped his daughter, but best actor worthy.
I thought so. Of what I saw, who was nominated. Like, I'm just gonna go out there and say I thought it was like one of the weaker Oscar lists in a while.
Okay.
I didn't really see anything this year that blew me away. Like, my favorite movie was probably Spider-Man, and that's like not a good thing. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
But I was happy. Like, I don't think it's his best performance he's given. It's kind of like when Leo won it for The Revenant. It was like, it's not your best performance, but it's the year you just hit it at the right tone.
They hit it literally.
Yeah. But it's disappointing, everything that happened after, because I was happy for him to get his moment, and he just kind of ruined it.
Yeah, he did ruin it. Okay, go ahead. What else?
I saw Nightmare Alley.
Oh, really?
I did.
No way.
Yeah, I watched it in the UK.
Is it good?
It's really good.
Yeah, I want to see it.
It's kind of like King Richard in the sense of like it's a well shot, well acted, but you're not getting anything that's gonna blow you away.
Damn.
Yeah,
I really want to see it.
You're a bit jealous that I've seen that.
I am jealous. Next, you're gonna pull out fucking everything, everywhere, all at once. Eh?
I saw Belfast. I still haven't seen Belfast.
Apparently, it's quite good.
Yeah, I really want to. I also haven't seen Spencer with Kristen Stewart, which I've heard is really good.
That's good. Yeah.
Go ahead. Hit me.
I got.
Oh yeah, so I'd go 8 out of 10.
Okay, nice. I saw West Side Story.
No, you did.
Yeah, I did. I was trying to fit all the Oscar nominees in.
I was trying as well. But
it's not very good. You know, it's well shot.
It's competently directed.
I'd say the cinematography and the direction are very strong. The set design is really good. The best supporting by Ariana DeBose, I think, well deserved.
Right.
The acting outside of that, pretty poor. The script, pretty bad.
Are you like feeling pretty confident to say that Spielberg's lost it? Would you go that far?
No. Like Spielberg was like, you could tell his hands were over in it, and that was like the redeeming part.
Okay.
It's just the content itself, like.
But I mean, that's also his responsibility. Like
the songs in West Side Story are kind of lame, and Ansel Elgort's acting is pretty brutal.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Yeah. So
he's worked with him twice now, or no? Did he? No, he wasn't in Ready Player One. Sorry.
No, that's Taylor Sheridan.
Oh, for God's sake!
Yeah. So I would take a pass on that one.
I saw, this is super random, but I finally saw The Accountant with Ben Affleck.
Oh, with Ben Affleck, yeah. And John Barenthal.
Well acted. John Barenthal was also a little shout out on King Richard. I thought he did.
Yeah, he was good. I love John Barenthal.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'd give that like a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, there's like talk of a
no harm, no foul.
Okay, I saw Fantastic Beasts.
No, you. Oh yeah, you did.
The Secrets of Dumbledore
is the worst movie ever.
It's pretty bad. it's quite bad.
Is it better than The Crimes of Grindelwald?
Yes, because The Crimes of Grindelwald was just awful.
That's one of the worst. That's up there with Revenge of the Fallen. Wait, what's that movie called? The Transformers one? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Transformers. Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Transformers 2 Revenge of the
Fallen. It's just those generic titles.
The bad guy's name is The Fallen.
The Thing.
No, yeah. The Secrets of Dumbledore was pretty bad. I think J.K. Rowling is proving that she should stick to books and she can't really do a screenplay.
No.
There's a lot of like convoluted plot line that
Lots of weird
goes really
flashbacks
quickly. No flashbacks, thankfully. That was the problem with the last one, yeah. But like convoluted, but skips over a lot of stuff. So you
does Grindelwald continue to be a character that for some reason they think we really care about, like learning, but we just don't give a fuck about
they
him?
never flesh him out.
Yeah, like who is he? Like,
Yeah, and Mads Mikkelsen maybe says like 6 lines.
no.
Yeah, he's always like, it does some like shrugging and brooding.
Learn the ways or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. And it's just
How's
like,
Jude?
Jude's good. I mean, Jude delivers. And
He's no Michael Gambon though. Like it's weird casting for me. It's like they're playing 2 completely different characters.
Eddie Redmayne was pretty good.
Is he still like the lead? Is he the protagonist?
So they still try and shoot, and they like just fucking shoehorn.
We need Newt.
Yeah,
Why?
Exactly. I can't make a move against Grindelwald. Makes a move against Grindelwald. Yeah. So I mean, there's like 2 good wizard duels, which you could probably just YouTube in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't think I will.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I've seen better, like probably in like the cinematic Harry Potter reveal trailer. There's like
Oh my
better
God.
spell fights.
The state of play. That's okay. Sorry.
I saw. I'm gonna have to go. Is that? I think you're done, or you got?
I got one more. I think
All
it's a shared one, but
I'm gonna draw Spiral real quick. Probably a 2 out of 10. Arguably, probably the worst movie I saw this year.
Oh wow.
In terms of just such terrible acting, like such blatantly awful screenwriting. When I saw the poster and the title change, for some reason I thought they were onto something cool. I was like, they're gonna give some credibility back to the Saw franchise.
Yeah, you're expecting like 7.
I thought I was getting like a really good murder thriller, and I just got the same fucking thing. You were right.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
I saw Turning Red.
Yeah, I saw Turning Red.
Really good.
Amazing.
Really, yeah. It was really, really good. I'd put it above
cried?
in... Almost.
Yeah.
I had to bury my head. I put it above Encanto. I thought I
still
enjoyed
haven't
it
seen
more. Yeah, like the Toronto touch
that was
and like
huge.
just like different aspects, the way they work in, like a little bit of anime flavor in there.
Yeah, the way they just like were so true to like certain cultures and like
Yep.
really true to the time. Like I think we're starting to get to that period now where like the early 2000s is like a period piece.
Oh yeah.
And I feel
the
like
boy band and stuff,
exactly. I feel like we're about to, and like the cell phones and
Yeah.
like just pre-social media, like that's now like distinct enough that you can set a movie there and there's like noticeable fashion changes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I
really
think
well done.
Turning Red's kind of a pioneer in that genre.
Yeah.
I saw Coda.
Oh yeah. Okay. The
Best
Academy
Picture
Award winner for Best Picture.
Yeah, definitely the worst Best Picture winner since Crash.
Since Crash 2004. Okay.
2006. Yeah. That was $1 Million Baby, I believe.
Oh gosh.
Fucking not very good. I was about to say garbage. That's not fair.
I heard there's like a couple, like 2 or 3 like pretty powerful scenes.
Yeah, 100%. I'll give a mild spoiler. It's a scene you could imagine being in there. There's a scene where the daughter is singing to her father, and obviously he can't hear, so he like feels her like throat and like her tonsils and stuff, and he's like listening in, and he can like feel the vibrations and stuff. That was like a very powerful scene. I think if you did that film like as a short film, that would be an amazing concept. But to stretch out that whole thing over a feature length film with really generic plot arcs and just like bad acting, like I hate to say it, but just like really poor acting, really bland, pale cinematography that just like had this like blah feel to it, almost like a low budget Netflix like original.
Wow.
No real ingenuity, just very by the books. I don't know how it really got in the conversation. Like obviously the themes and the subject matter is like very interesting and deserves to have films made about it, but I don't think that's enough on its own. You also, in terms of, to win Best Picture, like you look at a film like Parasite, just like the difference in artistic like vision, night and day.
Okay, well said.
So yeah, 5.5 out of 10.
Wow. Okay. Is that all?
Yeah,
I think you have one more actually.
I was gonna say Euphoria. I finally watched it.
Oh, okay. Is it good?
It's just one of the best shows I've ever seen.
I have to watch it.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. I would say, or 9.6.
Did you finish The Power of the Dog?
Oh yeah, that was the one.
Ah.
Yeah, honestly, one of those movies I wasn't super impressed by, and then I watched like some YouTube explained, and I'll just admit there was a lot of things I missed.
100%. It's very subtle.
Yeah, like
it's
so subtle and like yeah, like I knew I had kind of missed something, and then when I watched it again, or when I watched that video, I'm looking forward to seeing it again. Mm-hmm. So I'll give it like a 7.5 to maybe an 8.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, let's flash back to the Northman. So we're going back to Robert Eggers.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a redemption, revenge tale.
His third film.
Yes. So I haven't seen The Witch.
Yeah.
But we've both seen The Lighthouse.
The Witch was one hell of a debut.
Yes.
And then obviously the sophomore film. A lot of directors kind of fumble with like their second movie, but he, like, I think we both agree that was a really cool film as well.
It was, yeah. With our boy Art Pats.
Yeah, exactly.
Fan of the podcast. All right, let me get you started here with some fast questions.
Okay.
Are we gonna get a Skarsgård nude fight scene?
I'm gonna go like Tarzan loincloth level. But I don't think we're seeing any dick.
So he dons the loincloth again. How many dreams/premonitions are we getting?
I'm gonna go with 6.
6.
But like 2 main dreams, but then we get little flashbacks to it.
It's gonna fucking scare me or something. Yeah. Classic Eggers. How many throat slits are we gonna get? Like,
I'll go with 2.
Okay.
Yeah. How many random shots of obscure animals are we gonna get?
Oh my God.
A toad.
Do you think? Okay, so that's my first question. Do you think he's gonna go like? Are we getting a classic random ass ambiguous Eggers?
I think this will be his most like traditional narrative film that he's done so far. That's what I've written
down as well. Yeah.
Because like the big thing, one of my big topics on this is, are you done with your fast questions?
Yeah.
They've been like promoting the shit out of this movie. Like I just got back from the UK and it was everywhere. Like every bus, every like tube station.
Wow.
So obviously the studio, like they know that if it's some artsy shit, they wouldn't be doing that.
Yep.
And they've also backed him. I don't know if you've seen the budget for this. It said reported between 70 and 90 mil.
Wow.
Which is a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of giving me like Apocalypto vibes.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. Yeah, so just what you were saying there. I'm like probably some prophecy, dreamscape type stuff, but I think it will be like largely a tale of revenge that's kind of like, I think it will like challenge the viewer. It's not going to be like a John Wick turn your brain off. I think we're going to care about the characters a lot. So,
and I think like I've seen a lot of the posters have called it like this generation's Gladiator.
Really?
Yeah. So I think we're getting that level where it was like, yeah, there's some artistic like endeavor, but you got to deliver on like the fight scenes. You've got to, you got to have some like arcs that people can follow pretty easily.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to like those prophecies and the sorceress stuff, and it looks like we're delving into the supernatural like a little bit. So I'm excited. Like I think it's a really interesting mix.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward to seeing it. Cool.
Do you have an opening scene?
Yeah, I do. Okay. I do have an opening scene. It's not my best. It's not my best work, but I'm gonna go with father, and I think it's Ethlem. I think is the main character's name, or Elthem or something. I think they're like hunting of some sort, like together, kind of a Mufasa Simba kind of thing, and maybe it's like a boar. And his throw, like his spear throw is like off, and the dad's like teaching him like a better technique. And then I mean, it's kind of generic, but I could see that being like a critical thing that he eventually uses to kill Foljar or whatever his name is.
A crazy throw.
His uncle. Yeah.
All right, mine's a bit different. I got opening on Nicole Kidman screaming during childbirth.
Oh my God.
And there's like some sort of Viking priest. It's kind of got like
mixed weirdly loud.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's got like some weird eyes, kind of like Pan's Labyrinth style.
Okay.
And then we cut to like a baby crying during like some sort of baptizing ceremony with Willem Dafoe repeating some prophecy scripture over and over again.
Because it seems like what I got from the trailer is Willem Dafoe is like not liked by Nicole Kidman because he's because he's giving that prophecy, and she like then there's a scene of her like it looks like she's like pointing for him to be like killed or something for for saying something. So yeah, I really like that birth and the christening thing, like the weird religious undertones, like very Robert Eggers.
Very Eggers, yeah.
Yeah, I've gone for more of like the John Wick opening scene, haven't I?
Prediction here: Anya Taylor-Joy will plead for him to stop his like quest. Kind of, he has to pick her love or vengeance for his dad.
I have something similar to that, but I'll get to it.
Go for it.
But first of all, I got some trivia for you.
Ooh.
Did you know that Alexander Skarsgård is 45 years old?
No.
That's a 45-year-old man you're watching strutting across the screen.
Looks great. Looks great.
And speaking of which, in Big Little Lies, him and Nicole Kidman played husband and wife. And now they're playing father or mother and son. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
What year do you think this movie takes place in?
Fuck, I don't know, like 1803.
That's just so ridiculously unintelligent to say. 1800s? When do you think the Vikings were around?
I don't know.
That's like the Old West.
Before?
Yes. 1932.
Oh, okay. Ask the question again so I can edit it properly. Like
1802.
Okay. Like 1780.
Still ridiculous. Yeah, I know. 914.
Fuck, how am I supposed to know that?
I wouldn't expect you to say 1802, to be fully honest with you. Railroads being built. Wow. You better not cut that out. I'll know.
I won't.
Alexander Skarsgård played a character called Eric Northman in True Blood.
Oh, cool.
I thought that was interesting. This is the third film in a row for Robert Eggers.
Ooh, The Witch, The Lighthouse, The Northman.
Yeah, I wonder if
The Nosferatu.
his next is that the other film he wanted to do?
Yeah.
I could so see that. Eggers has dreamed of making a Viking film and has been trying to get one made since 2011.
Yes, I knew that.
He's finally getting his dream, so that was kind of cool. And that's it for my trivia.
Okay. This is actually I had you do a couple more predictions here. I think we're gonna get like a nice cold setting that would like you and I are actually gonna feel cold, very immersed in the theater. I think we'll see a nice like environment.
A lot of fighting the elements.
Yeah, exactly. Movie. Like kind of like Revenant style.
Yeah. And
I think maybe we'll get like a nice environmental kill, kind of like using like an icicle or like
True Lies, like with Arnold Schwarzenegger just picking off the henchmen one at a time.
How does he do it in True Lies?
I think he uses I think there's an icicle kill.
Or he used like a Norse like horn mug or something.
Oh, okay.
Like, goring people with that.
Do you think we're getting like intense violence, like R-rated violence?
So it's rated 14A in Canada, but apparently the like just briefly reviews were saying that's like very gory.
I hope so.
Which is Eggers' style. Like he's very visual.
And like it's like off-putting. Like sort of like
it's like
that,
disturbing.
Yeah. Like blood rising from areas like you're not used to seeing. Or like one of the predictions I have along the lines of what you were saying is I feel like obviously this is a revenge story long in the making. He's a kid when his father's murdered, and then we see him like fully grown, and it looks like he's maybe like the leader of like a village, like he's built like his own community.
Yep.
So I feel like he's gonna have to choose between like the community safety or like an opportunity for revenge. Like they're being attacked by like some other army.
Yeah.
And like the guy he wants to kill is like running away, and he like chooses revenge and like lets all his people die. So he ends up like losing everything, and it's like it wasn't even worth it.
Okay.
That's kind of I think it's like one of the like I think it's gonna be like a real tragic ending. Like
I think so as well.
I don't think he's going to get the
He's not going to feel good.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think he's going to die in the end?
I could see that. The other prediction I have is Nicole Kidman like doesn't want to be rescued. Like when we finally meet her, she's like maybe not happy, but she's like accepted like her new life with this other man.
Stockholm syndrome kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe even she like stabs him with like a dagger or something.
Oh wow.
Mother.
Okay, not bad. I think we're definitely getting a hallucination scene or sex.
Yeah. I think I've got like a jungle love like drug scene with Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think we'll get any like Norse gods? Do you think we'll get some like Thor, Loki,
maybe
Zeus or something?
Yeah, I'd be into that.
Maybe like a nice like thunderstorm scene and Willem Dafoe's shouting Zeus's name or something.
Or just like the like a face in the clouds kind of thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And just like showing maybe he gets like a bit of help from Poseidon like in a big moment. Little Clash of the Titans crossover.
Oh my god.
Do you think we're like could be potentially at the beginnings of like a trilogy or like a franchise here?
No.
It is a one-off.
It's a one-off, but I think it's going to be quite immersive. Do you know the runtime?
I don't, and I don't want to know.
Okay, fair enough.
I think because it could be 97 minutes and it could be 220. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna go in blind on that.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Here's a question for you. So Robert Eggers, third movie in, he's already developing kind of like a fave actors roster.
Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy, Willem Dafoe. How do you feel about directors kind of having this pool of actors that they prefer? Sorry, how do you feel about directors having this pool of actors that they kind of pull from?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally fine with it. Like, you don't want to, go too overboard. I think the Michael Caine and Nolan thing has gone a bit too far.
Yeah.
But I feel like in the like directors and love to work with like the same DPs or the same writers and the same crew, so it only makes sense that like you like that familiarity and want to continue that going with actors as well.
Yeah,
I feel like you should introduce like one big new actor with like every film you do, but if you want to have a couple Lucky Charms in there,
like Nolan's bringing in, well, I guess he's always had Cillian Murphy.
He's finally giving Cillian Murphy a lead role.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Michael Caine's in that movie as well.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. Stupid.
Didn't he say he retired?
Yeah, but he's like, I just keep getting scripts. That's so good.
Oh no, Michael Caine.
Nice.
Just slip that one in there. I think he's gonna get some sort of like animal companion, maybe like an eagle or a wolf.
I have like I think we might get like more comedy in this. Well, we got some comedy in The Lighthouse, but like maybe a donkey like companion, like a tubby
piss off.
Yeah, exactly.
I said piss off.
You do good work. Do you think? Oh yeah, so the other big thing that seems to be leading, you see it at the very end of the first trailer, is like a volcano. Like seems like that's like the third act. You get like a Mustafar like fight scene.
Okay.
At the end, so I feel like the pending volcano eruption is going to be like a big theme throughout. Like we'll just randomly get shots of like it kind of bubbling.
Okay,
throughout the film.
And maybe Willem Dafoe's prophecy kind of points to
I thought it was going to be Anya Taylor-Joy's prophecy, because I thought she was like the prophecy one, but no, I think you're right. But
yeah, what is her role? We'll get to that later.
I saw that she's like a sorceress.
Oh, cool.
Of some sort.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think there's going to be some kind of prophecy with the volcano, and maybe like Willem Dafoe, I'll switch it to him, like expediates its like eruption.
Oh, okay,
at the right moment.
Yeah,
like,
like, God's upon me!
Spite me! God's upon me.
Willem Dafoe, he just loves to cut loose.
Yeah, he does.
To his credit.
He's just like cut my hair in weird ways for every movie.
Just let me scream.
Take out this tooth. Oh my god.
Take out this tooth.
Do it!
Is this based on anything? It's because
I think it's loosely based on like an old folklore tale.
What's the thing with like Alexander Skarsgård's brother is in the show Vikings?
Bill Skarsgård?
I thought Bill's his like cousin.
I don't know. Stellan is his uncle, right?
Yeah. Gustav Skarsgård.
Oh, that's a new one.
That's a new Skarsgård.
More than the ASAPs.
Yeah, so he was in the show Vikings. Apparently, like Robert Eggers said,
Shared
like,
universe.
No, but he said that he said that he said that Vikings like did provide a lot of inspiration for this show.
I know that one of the Skarsgårds was like supposed to be in this movie at one point, but like due to COVID scheduling, because this was supposed to be shot like before COVID.
Like a different Skarsgård?
No, Alexander Skarsgård was in it, but one of the supporting characters was going to be.
Oh, probably Bill. Skarsgård. He's got that like beady eye look about him.
It's probably Willem.
Yeah.
Do the Willem Dafoe face again. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, he's the younger brother of Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think we'll get some like decently amazing like sword play, because like I feel like when you did this movie in like 2011, you'd go in and be like super underwhelmed with the amount of action. But I feel like we might get like a weird amount, like almost like Revenge of the Sith, like lightsaber.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just like these like 30-minute fights.
Yeah. Exactly.
Where she's like.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to just seeing this like visceral journey take a toll on our protagonist by the end, where he's just like completely insane.
Yeah. Like I want to see him battle.
Yeah. Exactly. I think they've got like a perfect. I haven't really seen him in much, but I know he's got like the stature and like the physicality for the role.
Yeah, he's more of a physical actor. I don't think he's much of a performance actor, but
it's good to see like no, he's not a great actor, but just like if like a Brad Pitt was in this movie, it's like they have that kind of like smaller, like they're trying to be a Viking, but this guy like what is he like 6'5" or something like that? Like he's a huge dude.
He's a big boy. Yeah.
So I think that's like it's like a Joel Kinnaman. I think Joel Kinnaman would have been good in this movie too.
I like Joel Kinnaman.
Yeah, he's really clawed his way back.
Yeah, he really has.
He took the long way around.
He's like redemption in the second.
He's just so good in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
just every scene he's in is just so delightful.
What a joke.
Yeah. Do you think we got a post-credit scene?
Probably not.
Willem Dafoe's little beady eyes, just like
still alive.
Oh my god!
You think Nicole? I like your twist on like Nicole Kidman.
Yeah,
is like Stockholm syndrome. She enjoys it. Oh yeah, I was gonna say. Do you think there's gonna be like a twist? Like someone's working for someone? Because surely like for Ethan Hawke to
We haven't really talked much about Ethan Hawke. Like, is it possible that he's not dead?
That's a big billing for an actor who's going to die.
Yeah.
What I presume
it's like
will be
Ewan
the first
McGregor
scene.
in Stormbreaker. Remember? He's in that one scene that he does.
Yeah, maybe I could see him coming back in flashbacks.
Not like
I think he is. I think he is dead.
Hello, son. Miss me?
Have you been watching Moon Knight?
No, I haven't seen
the
a
fuck is
single
wrong
episode.
with
I
you?
know. I'm going to sit down. Have you watched every episode?
The latest one came out last night.
What episode number is that?
That's episode 4. So I've seen 3 episodes of 4.
Is it good?
Yeah. Oscar Isaac is like phenomenal.
Yeah. Is it like tied into the MCU at all, or is it just its own thing?
No.
All right, don't tell me. Yeah. No, I'm gonna sit down and watch that. Like, I'll start it this weekend.
Okay.
I was gonna do Mandalorian season 2 first.
I'm slogging through the book of Boba Fett.
You're still on it, eh?
It's a slog.
The book of Boba Fett. Anyway, not to get too off topic here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know if I've... Yeah, the big prediction I had here was Farjar, whatever his name is not dead, instead betrayed and deserted his family. So he concocted a conspiracy with the guy to like pretend to kill me. And I'll give you all my like riches.
Okay.
And you just like live a quiet life in like a little house or something.
Okay. I think there is going to be a betrayal somewhere, and I'm leaning Nicole Kidman or Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy, like, I still don't really know
like
how
she
she
might
works
not have-
into this story.
yeah, I have no
I
clue.
feel like, but like they're going on press together, on the press tour together. So
Are they a thing? That
I don't know, but I've been watching some interviews.
he's
and they
45. She's what?
So, tell that to Florence Pugh, dude.
Who's she dating?
Zach Braff.
Oh, he's like 50?
Yeah, and she's like 20 something.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't really think I have too much else here. It's one of those movies, like, it's not a big established franchise, so we don't have that much to say about it.
Yeah. I think we're quite excited to go back to Robert Eggers and watch this kind of very visceral tale of revenge, redemption, set in what is not usually a very common setting of Norse mythology. So,
like Egger said, it seems like the show Vikings has kind of like renewed this interest in this kind of time frame.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, let's go check it out.
Yeah,
And
I'm excited.
We'll see you in 3,
2,
2, 1.
Hello.
Just got back from the Northman.
Yeah, was that return, or it was like me screaming into it, doing my best Skarsgård impression?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, we'll save your ears.
I know you could do it though. I don't doubt it.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was getting at.
Before we go any further, shall we go ahead with a rating?
All right, The Northman out of 10 in 3, 2, 1, 7.
7.5.
I was teetering 7.5. Okay, nice.
One of the two.
Yeah.
Take your pick. Initial thoughts?
Like super. The word that I keep coming back to is like visceral.
Yeah.
Like I almost feel a little bit exhausted after watching it,
Big time.
and it was a really good, like. It reminded me kind of in a way of 300.
Yeah, I think it's a little better than 300.
No, sorry, it's definitely better than 300, but it reminded me in 300 of how it kind of definitely had that like gore, kind of pale, kind of pandered to the male audience a bit. It had that like spiritual aspect.
Yeah.
I think it did everything 300 did, but better.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I think like every time I leave a Robert Eggers movie, it's like, you liked the movie, but you don't have that feeling of like, oh, like I feel so good after watching that, or like I feasted upon that. It always just leaves you kind of like thinking and like unsure of like what to think about, kind of like the not the world, but just like you don't know how to feel. Like his movies leave you with this like mix of kind of like sometimes like a little bit of optimism, sometimes a bit of like sadness, just a bit icky a little bit. But having said that, I think the best way I can describe this movie is it's a great mix of like art house filmmaking mixed with really classic, simple storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, the plot is as simple as it gets, really.
Super simple. Like you could have gotten away with like no dialogue and you would have understood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's very raw. It's like raw emotions, very like underdeveloped personalities who just like live with a few emotions. It's like anger, vengeance,
Yeah,
not even love. Like love's not really
love, but
just like restricted to your destiny, like what your family thinks you need to be.
Yeah,
keeping your bloodline going. It's like almost like there's no humanity. Almost, it's just like
it's like you're reading a fairy tale.
Yeah, exactly. But having said that, it like goes like really out there with like some of the imagery when it comes to like the religion going on.
A lot of allusions, a lot of allegories.
Yeah, and at first I wasn't really loving it. I was like, it just felt like he was just kind of being weird for the sake of it. But I started to understand. Like I had to detach myself from like what our society's like and how like complex and convoluted it is, and just like strip it down to like those raw emotions. And then the imagery and like especially towards like the third act started to like make a lot more sense.
Yeah, and like similar to you, like I'm kind of watching him like, okay, I know what I'm going to get with Robert Eggers, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to accept that, you know, he's probably done a lot of research as a passion project. He knows his like Norse mythology and like all the like religious stuff he's putting in there is probably all in there for purpose. And I remember in Lighthouse we'd argue like, you know, he's probably slipping some stuff in there. Like, oh, I wonder what they're going to think here, right?
Yeah.
But this was, it felt purposeful. You know, I may not have picked up on all of it. I may not have appreciated all of it, but you can tell that he was definitely putting some thought and care into it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it felt like a real labor of love for him. And it does feel like one of those movies that might like kind of age like a fine wine. Yeah. Like the first time it's like a little bit too much. You feel like it's a bit sensory overload. But then when you kind of revisit it and you're like, oh, damn, like there's definitely a lot of things to like. Like going into the things I loved, I thought like the action was really good.
It was, yeah.
Nicely balanced. Didn't like go on for too long. But like hit really hard. We got that like like you said, visceral, like hard hitting violence that was like just, you know, we were in like a packed theater and you could like feel people like wincing a little bit. At some of the...
So and like, what do you think of the gore levels?
It's nice. It was less than I thought.
Oh really? Like I'm not gonna say it was bad, but it was like, I was like, oh fuck, this is pretty gory.
Yeah. You could tell there were like moments where he probably, what I mean is he probably wanted to go further. Like, like there's a few times where the camera like kind of moves away from things, and you're like, oh, I can tell he just wants to keep that camera there, but they gotta do just enough to get that like 18A or 14A rating, depending on like the region. Yeah, it was pretty violent. Now I think about it, there's a good spilling gut scene. Well, to our fast questions, there's a lot of throat slits. A lot of throat slits. A couple like dismembering moments. Like when I couldn't even tell what it was for a second. Like, oh, I think he cut that guy's dick off. When he like made it look like a sacrifice. If you looked at like his dick was like hanging on the floor.
Oh, I must have missed that.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like, I think that's what it was, but there was like a big red spot and then just like a little hanging thing. But I thought that was like really clever. So basically, if you haven't seen it, obviously his father gets killed by his uncle, and then he gets like set on this life of like Viking, like just ravaging villages, like murdering innocent people. He's just completely broken and lost. Ends up kind of stumbling upon... Is that fair to say? I'm trying to think how he ends up like...
I'm sure it was all destined, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it would have happened, but his fate, he met his fate, yeah.
So he finds this uncle and his mom living in like this like small settlement, and they have these slaves and they're working, and he slowly like infiltrates their society as a slave and kind of like builds their trust, and then starts like staging... Well, he meets Anya Taylor-Joy, who's like a... kind of like a witch, but like...
Or an earth sorceress.
Yeah, like she doesn't use like overt like magic or anything. It's all very subtle, which I liked. I liked how they didn't go too over the top with it. And they start kind of staging this like curse almost. Like there's a spirit like slowly killing them off. Yeah. And I thought that was cool. I liked that.
I thought that was cool as well. And just to that recap, like obviously there's a lot more like... fantastical elements as well, right? There's like premonitions,
but like you don't know if it's actually real. It's kind of like imaginary, like
and that kind of leads me maybe to my first kind of like little hiccup was like the sword retrieval.
Oh yeah, that was weird,
because even meeting that, like, I don't know, meeting that guy in the cave and then going to get the sword, like
that was the one time where he basically like materialized something out of like thin air almost.
And it was like, if you look at it as kind of like a little side quest or something like that, it's fun, but for the purposes of the story, wasn't my favorite.
Sometimes like it seemed like he couldn't open it, like because it wasn't the right time.
Yeah, because it can only open at dark.
Oh yeah, I thought it was just like when you're actually like doing your quest properly.
Oh, maybe.
That's kind of, but yeah, no, you could be right. Because, like, it is, like, a lot of Old English. Like, some of the things are kind of hard. Like, my biggest issue was probably, like, a low-hanging fruit one, but I just felt like the pacing was, like, really slow at some points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was some, like, just after second act, like, pre-third act, where I was like...
Yeah, like, there were some parts that were long, like, really long.
Yeah.
And... that was kind of disappointing because, like, right before the movie started, I caved. You told me the runtime, which was like, what was it,
2:16.
2:16. Like, I would have thought it was like 2:45 coming out of it if you hadn't told me.
Yes. Okay, I agree.
I almost thought you were lying to me. I was like, he's gonna drop the bomb on me that it's like 2:50.
He kept waiting.
Yeah. So that was an issue. I think they easily could have like cut like 20 minutes off, and it would have been probably better.
Yeah. Then you kind of get that breakneck.
Yeah,
which is honestly what it was like, kind of what it was going for.
Yeah,
right?
like, it just felt a little bit indulgent in some points, and like, are we really servicing the story, or are we just kind of like, you know, shooting cool things? Like, let's get on with it in certain points. For sure. But yeah, moving into some other predictions.
Dude, we did quite well on these predictions.
You got a big ding on the mushrooms, like drug use.
Hallucinating, because they like poisoned the camp, right?
Yeah, they poisoned the soup or the heart soup or whatever. Yeah. Because they found it in the forest.
Yeah.
I didn't like how he just like had one mushroom and he somehow poisoned like the entire
I thought she like conjured it up using her earth magic.
Yeah, I see. Ding on a forest sex scene.
Did you say that?
I think I said that, yeah.
Oh, that's why you fist bumped.
Yeah.
I thought you were just getting a little horny.
No. Bit about it. I'll take a half ding on the hero's choice, because it wasn't between his people. It was like between his his people, like his kin, as they said. Half ding on the tragic ending, because although his revenge quest does ultimately lead to his death, he kind of dies like happy, like he dies in peace, because he
shed his single tear.
Yeah, that was really, I liked that.
That was cool.
I liked how they had like the tear like frozen in time. And like he knew his family was safe, and she was like talking to him and said like, you can move on to like the next realm or something.
The Valhalla.
Yeah, she said something else.
Yeah. Okay. You got a big ding with his mom.
Yeah. Not really. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of saw that coming just from her, like...
It wasn't like a big twist, but like I appreciated how they handled it.
Yeah, like I thought it was going to be more like, oh, at first, like, I hated it, but he's like, but, you know, he won me over, but, you know, turns out she was the one who kind of orchestrated the whole thing, and she's just, like, really conniving at the end, and she even, like, tries to manipulate him into, like, being her king.
Nicole Kidman was definitely a highlight.
She went all out in that one, like, especially in that one scene.
Man, I was like, oh, fuck, this is fucking creepy and evil, and it was good.
She was just doing it, like, she was going to try and kill him as soon as he was, like, vulnerable.
Yeah.
She was like really good, like throughout the whole movie, but especially that she kind of stole the show with that one scene.
For sure, I'm glad we agree on that.
Yeah.
We did mention, it was more a fast question, but we did mention a nude fight scene.
Yeah.
Oh, did we ever? You know, with Robert Eggers, you're getting some ass, right?
I thought that the final fight. I love how I thought they were gonna fight in the house, and then he just like was like, I'll meet you at the gates of hell. Like, we'll do this properly.
Yeah, exactly.
Good old fashioned. Like, let's just get both of our revenge out of our system. Some of the screaming was like so good in that scene. Like,
like Skarsgård's screaming was good, man. Like he was an animal.
He was good throughout. Like, I really thought he was good.
I will say he was a bit rigid when he actually had to act. It was kind of like.
What about the what say you with his like eyes all welling up?
Yeah, but sometimes he would talk normally and sometimes he would talk
the accent was...
old English. I was like, what are we doing here?
He's like, what's up?
Yeah. I love you, babe. A couple notes on the story, just kind of like not really nitpicks, but I was really frustrated when he left the boat. Like, buddy, stay with your wife and your twins. Like,
yeah, it's just like, I get it, but it's always gonna happen in these kind of movies. Like,
and then the other thing I really liked about this is how, like, Nicole Kidman is, she explains that Ethan Hawke was, like, a really shitty person. Like, he, like, plundered, took her as a slave, made him her wife.
Right.
And then the uncle kind of does this. And now, like, Alexander Skarsgård is basically doing the same thing as his dad. So, like, he's a shitty person.
I mean, he's almost, like, worse.
Exactly.
Because he kills... like totally cold blood, like unpremeditated. Well, you could say, like it kind of paralleled his dad or his uncle, because he was kind of manipulated to kill his brother based on like his wife or his girlfriend's like wishes. And she was kind of spurring him on a lot too. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Kind of feeding his revenge.
Yeah,
So it did kind of run in his bloodline, just this like kind of savage, like revenge driven.
What's interesting is there's no like real hero. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone's kind of evil.
Everyone's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. You leave feeling a bit like empty.
Yeah, exactly. Like I couldn't really root for anyone.
Yeah, that was my other gripe, and it's like not really a gripe against the film. It's just unfortunate that like, so in the early stage when he goes off with like that Viking clan and they're like pillaging the village, and like I found it really hard to like root for him as a protagonist because he just like knowingly lets all those children get
that kind of shook you, hey?
Yeah, and it's like I get that's like the harsh reality of that time.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it would have been good to see some like remorse or like,
yeah, at least like, you know, he kind of looks down. He was just kind of like, this is it. Like,
yeah, it was dark. Like that
it was
kind
really
of threw
dark.
me off.
Yeah.
Like, I found that quite hard to watch. I thought he was maybe gonna like, you know, at least after that, like I gotta leave these people. He just didn't seem like he really cared at all.
No, yeah.
So I thought maybe there'd be a bit more humanity to hit to the lead, but maybe that's because I'm so used to seeing that in like the typical movie, whereas Robert Eggers is just like, no, like I'm being like historically accurate.
But if that's evoking like a certain feeling of emptiness in you that you can't connect with the movie that well, then you know, so be it. That's why we're gonna dock it at, you know, half point or a point.
Yeah. But it's like, is it even right of me to do that?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Of course it is. You're entitled to how you feel about a movie.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, that was kind of my biggest issue with it. And it seemed like they really went overboard on that. And maybe if they, like, you know, he didn't love that, but he just had to let it go. But he goes in there right away. And I thought he was going to, like, you know, grieve. And all he cares about is just, like, getting the next stage of his, like, story, or his prophecy. So that was, like, hard for me to connect to.
For sure. That's a good point. The I don't know, what was it, football? The football scene?
Oh, that was cool.
So good, man.
I liked the second son, like the older son of the uncle.
He was good.
Yeah.
When he gives him the little punch.
I can't believe they didn't give that role to fucking Dudley Dursley. That had him written all over it.
He would have killed it.
Yeah. Yeah, when he tried to punch him, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And
I got some laughs out of the theater.
yeah, like his performance was like a little bit over the top, like a bit like snooty pooty, but I feel like that was kind of intentional.
Yeah.
That was a nice little performance in there. Speaking of which, like thoughts on Willem Dafoe?
It's like a cameo.
Yeah, it was more like a cameo than anything.
I'm sure he had fun. Probably like 2 days on set.
2 days.
Yeah.
Day of rehearsal, 2 days on set.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, this movie would be a 10 if it had more Willem Dafoe. Yeah. You know, he did what he needed to do. He was good in what he was in. Would I have loved to see more? Absolutely.
Yeah, he clearly has his, like you said, what did you call it? Like his actors club or whatever?
Yeah, his favorite actors pool.
Obviously, at the very end on the ship, the guy who's, like, taking them is the lead in The Witch.
Oh, that was the lead?
Yeah, he's, like, the main character.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah. He's been in a couple other things, but
nice.
he's good. And it was nice to kind of see that, like, kind of this thematic thing going on with Eggers' films.
I will say my like biggest ding, or not ding, my biggest like pro, or the most thing I liked.
What is it? The thing I hated or the thing I loved?
I will say the thing I loved the most about this movie was there's lots of extreme and uncomfortable settings, and like I was talking about in the pre-show how I wanted to be like immersed in it, and like there's like the scene where it's like raining on the ship and they're just sitting out in the open.
Yeah, that was great.
When they get to Iceland, it's like this blistering wind, and then even like when they're fighting the volcano, like the ash is falling on them, like it felt very real. Yeah. And it made me as a viewer be like, man, I'm just like imagining if I were in these settings, how like uncomfortable I would be.
How harsh the terrain was. Especially there's that one like montage where they're just like when he's a slave and they're being like walked through all those terrains. I was like, oh, it's like a bit of desert, a bit of this, bit of that. Like the cinematography, especially the scenic cinematography was like, I knew it was going to be amazing. So like,
direction,
almost taking it for granted a little bit how good it was.
For sure,
it was beautiful. Like the snow felt so good. I thought that my other thing I didn't love about, especially the start and a few other points, was sometimes the blocking felt a bit weird. Like especially when they killed Ethan Hawke, like the way they just kind of came out of nowhere and the kid was able to escape so easily.
I knew you weren't gonna like that.
I didn't like that at all.
There's like one rock to hide behind.
Perfect rock. And they were so slow to like react to the kid. And like things like that just really bother me because it takes me right out of it. I'm like, there's no way this kid would survive this. Like,
yeah. And actually, to that though, when the kid's escaping and he's got the red cloak on,
Yeah, didn't love that.
and he
either.
like walks out as right when the mom's there, and I was like, oh god, like he better not be the only person walking out. But then I like how he walked to like a group of grieving like women and younger children. So I was like, okay, that's believable. But yeah, definitely that running and hiding behind the rock part. I was like,
Yeah, just like even him like going out to sea in like the little boat. It's like they're right there.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you tell me no one saw you go. Like, and they're just the way that the uncle later on is like he finds it so hard to believe that it could be, was it Anslith or something?
Amalith,
like he finds it so hard to imagine that it's him, and it's like, dude, like you knew this was coming. Like Ethan Hawke told you like very clearly.
Yeah,
That was really cool. Like I thought Ethan Hawke like had a very short performance, but he made it count while he was in there.
yeah. Thoughts on the dog scene with Ethan Hawke and the son?
Oh yeah.
Whether for him he dogs,
Well,
he like burps and he farts.
Yeah, odd, but I do really like how it came back because he was able to connect with that dog and make them all work for him. I did really like how he was able to do that. It was like a bit of like a special power that he had.
I think if someone came in this movie like begrudgingly with a negative lens and they get hit with that in the first like 20 minutes, they'd be like, this movie fucking sucks.
Yeah, there's certain people. There's a pretty large percentage of like a regular movie going audience you lose right away during that scene.
Yeah,
it was just so dumb. Like,
exactly. And dude, you could make the case for it. I would be like, have to get through this.
All I would say is like, yeah, you have to realize like I'm no historical expert, but like things were fucking weird in this time. Like I'm sure people did shit like that.
Yeah, it's crazy because like Greek and Roman mythology are so romanticized in film and modern culture that I'm not too well versed in Norse, and I don't think you are either. So it's interesting to see, and I think as time progresses and this movie's out for a bit longer, we'll probably read a lot more on like hidden Easter eggs and whatnot.
Yeah, but I think it's cool what Robert Eggers is doing. He's finding a way to grow his like scope and expand his audience without like while staying true to like his principles.
It definitely felt like an Eggers film.
Yeah, like he's not dumbing down his stuff maybe like a tiny bit, but he's finding a really nice mix.
This was definitely his most like accessible film.
I would say like the most of like the spoken word was easier to follow than like especially The Witch. Like The Witch is like quite hard to follow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But like he did a nice balance of like, I'm not sure what the language was.
I couldn't tell you.
It sounds stupid to even try and guess, but those moments were really nice, and I think the actors did a great job of like reciting all that stuff. Must have been really tough.
Yeah, I think I would strongly recommend this movie to anyone who's kind of looking for like a visceral action film.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth checking out. Like I would see it in theaters if you can.
Yep. Sound mixing, sound design.
Yeah, the mix is unbelievable. And like that final sword fight is really, really good. One of the better ones I've seen in a while.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the 7.5. Not like the modern masterpiece that we were maybe hoping for, but something fresh, something new.
Something fresh, yeah, for sure. Well, and it was a lot of fun to get back into the theater.
What a very cultured and mature podcast this was. We're really growing up.
Yeah, no more Marvel movies.
Next week.
We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. The Multiverse of Madness.
I can't wait for all the character tie-ins.
Hell yeah. Things just got out of hand.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening.